Hey everybody, welcome back to Flashback Comics. I'm Troy David, and tonight we are going to do a spotlight on one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe of all time. Now, I'm going to preface this by asking you a simple question. What was great about Captain America 2 or 3 Civil War? The answer to that question is just about everything. The introduction of Spider-Man, getting to see Ant-Man turn into Giant Man, the final battle with Captain America and the Winter Soldier versus Tony Stark Iron Man. It was fantastic, but one of the most incredible things was the introduction into the Marvel Cinematic Universe of the Black Panther. T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, King of Wakanda, a Jack Kirby Stan Lee character introduced to us in Fantastic Four number 52 back in 1966. The Black Panther is also a longtime member of the Avengers. Oddly enough, joined the Avengers in the pages of their book, issue number 52. The Black Panther, as I mentioned, is the king of the fictitious Marvel nation Wakanda. Wakanda is famous for two things. One, having never been conquered by anybody despite the number of invaders that this country has seen. And number two, for the presence of a gigantic mound of vibranium. Vibranium is a fictitious metal in the Marvel Universe. You might be familiar with the fact that Captain America's shield is composed of vibranium. There are different types of vibranium. Wakandan vibranium is different from, say, Antarctic vibranium. But vibranium is one of the keys to the economy of the Wakandan structure, and it is part of what helps make their country so rich. The Black Panther himself is the latest king. He has been educated outside of Wakanda, and he has brought a scientific genius, a high level of technological wherewithal to this nation. T'Challa should be considered intellectually on the same par as characters like Reed Richards and Tony Stark, Magneto, and Doctor Doom. He showcases his intellect differently than they do, but he is most definitely one of the powerhouse brains of the Marvel Universe. Now, these days you can see the Black Panther in the pages of the Ultimates, as well as his own comic, The Black Panther, written by novelist Ta-Nehisi Coates. The Black Panther has been a fantastic book, and at this point in time, the book takes place with the Black Panther in Wakanda, dealing with the fallout of a lot of previous subplots and storylines handled by writers before Ta-Nehisi Coates came on board. He has grabbed the reins that everyone else has left him, and he is just steering this thing down a fantastic direction. The Black Panther, while he is the king of this country, we have seen the Black Panther as an absentee monarch many, many times throughout the lifespan. The character has, as I mentioned, been a longtime Avenger, a longtime friend of the Fantastic Four, a friend of Daredevil. He has been in New York so many times, and more than once he has forged a romantic relationship with a woman not from Wakanda, whether it was Monica Lynn or whether it was Aurora Monroe, Storm. Many of you remember that Storm and the Black Panther were married. Well, that storyline truthfully begins in the pages of Marvel Team Up number 100, where a young Aurora and a young T'Challa first met. Now, she is walking across the Serengeti. She does not have access to her powers. He is not yet accepted the mantle of the Black Panther. So these two young characters meet and go their separate ways, thinking that they weren't going to see each other anymore. In fact, they did. More than once, ultimately leading into their being married. This was touted in 2007 as the wedding of the century. Unfortunately, the wedding of the century, while it produced a very strong union between the two characters, it ended in tearful acrimony when the two characters found themselves on opposite sides of the argument in Avengers versus X-Men. Yeah, thank you, Phoenix Force coming back to Earth and dividing lines of friends, putting Black Panther and Storm on opposite sides. It's a terrible thing there, Phoenix Force. Goodbye, glad you're gone. So, backing up here, we're talking about the Black Panther. We have started with Fantastic Four. We've come all the way up to present. The Black Panther, as I mentioned, is in the Ultimates right now. So, keep your eyes peeled. Keep reading Civil War 2, which has actually been extended to 8 issues now. So, 4 down, 4 to go. Keep reading The Black Panther, written by Ta-Nehisi Coates. This book is fantastic. I mentioned earlier that the Black Panther had been an absentee monarch, and what you're going to see is the Black Panther having to deal with the fallout of having been gone so many times, having spent so much time with the Avengers, so much time in New York, so much time with influences and individuals outside of his very own kingdom, and now we are seeing a kingdom in turmoil. We're seeing a kingdom that had to give up its vibranium. There's a lot of Black Panther history in between the pages of Fantastic Four 52 and the most current Black Panther issue number 6. So, Troy David here at Flashback, giving you a little taste of all things Black Panther. Come and get some of that.